Hey everyone, welcome to another episode of Gripe, the show for short, sweet reviews of new release movies, plus the one thing that annoyed me the most, and hand gestures. Today I'm talking about the new film Rough Night, and there are some major spoilers. Jess is getting married, so her closest friends are all ready for her bachelorette party in Miami. But when they hire a stripper, the night takes a dark turn, forcing them to work together to hide the evidence. The film stars Scarlett Johansson, Jillian Bell, Zoe Kravitz, Ilana Glazer, Kate McKinnon, Paul W. Downs, Ryan Cooper, Ty Burrell, and Demi Moore. And the film is directed by Lucia Aniello. Whether we like it or not, we are always going to get raunchy party movies. Some of them are memorable because they work, like the first Hangover film. Others are just a mess, with the occasional chuckle, like the second Hangover movie. It's an easy comedy trope to do, especially when they try to amp up the ridiculousness. Rough Night never reaches excessive ridiculousness beyond the basic premise, which is just absurd. The plot is that Johansson plays Jess, a politician-to-be who is getting married. As such, she doesn't want her bachelorette party to get too wild. But her best friend from college, Alice, played by Jillian Bell, has other plans. Pretty soon, they're all high on cocaine, they're drunk, and they're completely out of control. So of course, a stripper is the solution to their night. But then they ultimately kill that stripper by accident. So now they have this dead stripper, and the rest of the movie is them trying to get rid of the body without getting caught. Before the moment where they kill the stripper, it feels like any other party movie, but it's also never really that funny. But then after that moment, it's still not very funny. The movie never really excels in any one area, even as it tries different things. There are plenty of opportunities that I feel are wasted throughout the film. You have the relationship between Kravitz and Glazer's character. They're former lovers, and so there's this tension between them, but it never really ignites very well. You have Kate McKinnon, who can lift up even the weakest comedies, even when she's doing some cultural appropriation like she is in this movie. And then you have Burrell and Moore, who play this creepy sex-obsessed couple, who I feel like, again, for the characters that they give us, they are completely wasted. It's almost like they wanted to be outrageous, but only in moderate doses. And instead, the story jumps between comedy and inconsistent friend reflection. I'm not going to delve into this movie too deeply because there really isn't a lot here. So I'm going to go right into my key gripes. I've been a little vague to this point on why this movie didn't exactly sit right with me. That's because there are too many problems with it. So there's no one key gripe. The whole crux of this story is the fact that Jess and Alice are supposed to be best friends, but it also goes with the fact that they've grown apart somewhat. And the film tries to make this profound problem that Jess isn't spending as much time with Alice, or she isn't putting her in her life as much. Problem is, it completely ignores the fact that they're adults and that people go their own way and people do their own things. The movie vilifies Jess for trying to make something of herself independent of her college roommate. It also feels like a slap in the face to women everywhere who try to achieve greater things because it says, well, if you achieve greatness but you leave your friends behind, you're really not that great, which is kind of the moral of this movie, which I just don't agree with at all. Then there's the death itself, and they think because they're high that they would get in trouble with the police with a dead body in the house. And Jess is particularly worried because of her political career. But apparently none of them are sober enough to consider how much worse it will be if they hide the body. Just moving the body or touching the body is enough for them to completely lose any kind of credibility with the police, that this is an accident. It's 2017. People have seen CSI. They've seen NCIS. They know these things exist. And yet it's always this trope that, oh my God, we have to move the body, as if it's something that they can get away with. And don't even get me started on them trying to get rid of the body, because one of their plans is to take it out into the ocean on a jet ski and dump it. But what do? They dump him like 50 yards off the shore, and then they're surprised again when it washes back up on shore. But the thing that really gets me in this movie is how it ends. Because in the end, they get vindicated, nay, celebrated for basically what amounts to murder. Why? Because it's revealed that this guy is a jewel thief late in the story. So apparently it's okay to murder him, and the police are okay with them murdering him. This has to be one of the most ridiculous endings, because basically they say, oh, the police just let him go because they said in Florida it's okay. And worse yet, she wins political points for covering up a murder. I know it's a comedy, and I know it's supposed to be ridiculous, but for a movie that wasn't really that funny anyway, this just made it even more infuriating. I feel like they wanted this to be 5 different movies, but it never fully realizes any of them. Overall, this movie is a mess when you really think about it. I can usually forgive insane plots as long as the comedy is clever or they present it in a way that's entertaining, but that isn't the case here. It's inconsistent and it hurts the movie overall. It isn't that the movie is badly done, it's just a really badly formed idea. I'm giving Rough Night a 4.5 out of 10 for just being a really underwhelming movie, not very funny, and just an absolutely absurd premise that I just couldn't get my head around. Let me know your thoughts on Rough Night. If you enjoyed it, let me know why you enjoyed it. And if you didn't enjoy it, I'm pretty sure I can guess why. And that does it for this episode of Key Gripe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye-bye. Hey, you made it to the end of the video. Nice work. Good job. If you like what you saw, you can just go ahead and click that subscribe button for all videos past and future. You can also head over to my website and see all the other stuff that I do, including the books I've written. So go ahead, click stuff.